T? Yes, sir. Thanks very much for being here.
Not a problem.
Come on up. We're going to make you famous.
Somehow I doubt that.
Hi, I'm Mike Thompson, and we're here today at the Santa Rosa Police Department in their situation room. Behind me on the screen, you'll see photographs programming through of ghost guns that the Santa Rosa Police Department has taken off the street, which makes our community much safer. And I was joking today with one of their teams that it seems every day I get a Nexel report that the Santa Rosa Police Department has taken another ghost gun or a group of ghost guns, most always with over-capacity, large capacity magazines off the street. And I always text the chief and congratulate him and thank him. And it just seems to be, I ought to just get an automatic setting on my phone where I can just text him every day. That's how successful they've been. Now, the Biden administration had done an executive order to go after ghost guns. And for those of you who don't know, a ghost gun is a kit that you can purchase, and within minutes, just about anybody can put it together and make it into a usable firearm. They don't have serial numbers, and I think it's pretty safe to say anyone that would go out of their way to build a gun that they can buy without a background check and without serial numbers is probably up to no good. So President Biden did the executive order cracking down on ghost guns, and now the new law says that if you buy one of these kits, you have to get a background check and the gun has to be serialized. So that's a good step in the right direction. However, the Wall Street Journal reported this week or last week that there are some manufacturers who are now selling components one piece at a time, which is an obvious attempt to get around the law. And it just is an indication that we have to be vigilant and keep after this if we're going to keep these guns off the street. So I want to thank the Santa Rosa Police Department, the chief, the city council for providing the resources they need to do their job. And we're going to start by hearing from Council Member Rogers, and then we'll hear from the chief and the lieutenant. Councilwoman?
Thank you. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank our men and women from the Santa Rosa Police Department. Day in and day out, they come onto our streets to make our streets a better place. And as a resident of Santa Rosa, I have to say that seeing those guns on the screen is quite scary. But I know that we have men and women that are working very diligently and very hard to get them off the streets. So thank you, Chief, and thank you to your department for everything that they do. And the Santa Rosa City Council wants to continue to support you guys in your efforts to keep us all safe. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for all your support. Kyle, who will be next? Kyle?
So just as the congressman said, talk a little bit about ghost guns. Ghost guns are a kit that you can buy that's unserialized and untraceable. Anyone can buy it online. You can buy them without a background check. They present a challenge for law enforcement because the suspects that we see typically arrested with ghost guns are prior violent offenders, suspected gang members, and convicted felons. So far, just some statistics for this year. If you compare the first half of 2022 to the first half of 2021, we have seen a 55% increase in the amount of guns that we have seized off the street, 75% increase in the amount of firearms related to criminal investigations that we have seized, 179% increase in the amount of ghost guns that we have seized here on the streets related to criminal investigations. Luckily, we believe that has led to a 31% decrease in the amount of shootings that we've had the first half of this year compared to 2022. Now, so far this year, one statistic that has risen a bit is homicides. We have seen 9 homicides so far this year. 5 of those are firearms related. 3 of those are stabbing related. We have solved 7 of those 9 so far. Comparing this to 2021, where we had 6 homicides total for the year, and 4 of those being firearms related. So I'll now turn it over to Chief John Cregan to give you a little more about the efforts and statistics.
Thanks, Lieutenant Philp. And Lieutenant Philp runs our investigations division, and like he said, they're very, very busy this year. And he talked about some of those startling stats with 179% increase in the ghost gun seizures. And what we're looking toward is looking at broader trends. So in the last 5 years, the data that we have shows 147% increase in shooting incidents reported here in the city of Santa Rosa. But specifically when we talk about ghost guns, we've seen in the last 5 years a 633% increase in the ghost gun seized by our officers. So that's an incredible increase, and that we're seeing this every day. We're seeing almost every weekend when one of our officers are conducting a traffic stop or doing some type of proactive work in the city of Santa Rosa, getting these ghost guns. They also have extended magazines, these 30-round magazines that are intended for nothing but putting more rounds downrange, and often we're seeing community members be a victim of that violence. My job stepping into the role of Chief of Police, one of my top priorities is on violence reduction in our community. And for that, what I've learned is going to take a collaborative effort, that we're going to focus by our new proactive policing model that we launched this summer here in the city of Santa Rosa. And the proactive policing model works on using data. So we have an incredible crime analyst team here for the city of Santa Rosa, and having like a data or intelligent-led like model where we're going forward, we're sending officers where the data is showing us that we're having the most violence, we're having the most guns seized, we're having the most sideshows and other incidents of violence here in our community, and we're putting some of our teams there. We also started, just over a year ago, started our special enforcement team. And this is a dedicated team of 4 officers and a sergeant that are working specifically toward violence reduction in our community and working towards seizing some of these illegal firearms that are in the street of Santa Rosa. I have the data just for the first 11 months of that team. And in the first 11 months, just those 4 officers made 146 arrests, and they had 43 firearms that they seized off the streets of the Santa Rosa. That's just that team. Doesn't count all the patrol officers, our detectives, and others who are seizing guns on a regular basis. We're going to continue this intelligent-led model. We're also going to work here today. We're in our Department Operations Center, where we use for wildfires and for other big events that we're managing here within the city of Santa Rosa. But one of my goals is to also add in here a real-time crime information center. And this crime information center would have 3 key components. One of them would be a shot spotter system, where we get immediate notification of firearms that are shot within the city of Santa Rosa. That allows our officers to be able to be immediately dispatched and increases our likelihood of being able to seize those firearms off the streets of Santa Rosa and hold those accountable who are firing those rounds. The second part is having an ALPR system for the automatic license plate readers, and that allows us to be able to track offenders that are fleeing the scene of a violent crime, for sideshows, and a host of other criminal activity that occurs here in the city of Santa Rosa. And the third is having a robust surveillance system that we can use for tracking crimes that are committed in our city, especially in our downtown core. And we also want to use it for some of our wildfire evacuation routes to have better situational awareness of where the traffic is backed up. So those are all key components that we can use from this real-time crime information center. We're working with our federal partners, including here with Congressman Thompson, to be able to see what type of federal funding that we could get in the future for such a program like that. We're also going to continue our collaboration with the Santa Rosa Violence Prevention Partnership. And we really understand that we're not going to arrest our way out of some of these issues. And with the partnership, we can start looking to doing education for parents, for our youth in our community, to understanding the dangers of possessing these firearms. And a lot of parents and even some kids in our community just don't know the dangers that are associated with that. And parents don't understand when their kids may be ordering one of these ghost gun kits off the internet, what really that is and what kind of the trouble that it can lead to. We're also launching just this month a new restorative justice model that we're going to have for juveniles, that trying to divert them from the criminal justice system when possible for low-level offenses. And then we're also working toward, as we build some of the staffing. Right now we have 20 officer vacancies in the city of Santa Rosa. So we're out doing everything we can to fill those positions. So we're looking for young men and women in Santa Rosa area and throughout Sonoma County to join our forces so they can be part of some of those efforts. And when our staffing is up to speed, we're going to re-bring back our dedicated gang crimes team to be able to focus on some of the gang violence in our community. And we're often see the unfortunate reality of gang members using some of these illegal firearms on the streets of Santa Rosa. So today is about celebrating in a moment that we're getting strong support from Congressman Thompson and our federal partners about some of the legislative needs that we can make with this, and the support for our team, our strong support from the City of Santa Rosa Council. And we have Councilmember Natalie Rogers here has been a key supporter of our police department and helping some of the efforts to refund some of the staffing to the police department. And really at the end of the day is helping make Santa Rosa a safer place. So we're so proud to be able to have some of these key partners, and we're going to continue to do our efforts from the Santa Rosa Police Department to reduce some of the gun violence on our streets. I'll turn it back over to Congressman Thompson.
Well, Chief, thank you very much. And again, thank you to all the men and women in your department who keep our community safe. This is an important issue. It's great that the PD is on top of this and they're having the success that they're having. This has also been a good year for gun violence prevention activity out of Washington. We passed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which does a number of things, closes the boyfriend loophole for boyfriends that that commit domestic violence to prevent them from having guns, making sure that dealers are clearly outlined in the law, so people who go around the law to sell firearms on a regular basis who claim they're not dealers will not be able to do that anymore. Bumping the age for background checks for people who buy long guns to make sure that kids have people under 21 get more scrutiny before they're able to buy these firearms. And we also provided a lot of money for mental health and for school safety. So, Chief, some of the programs that you're talking about would be eligible for some of that federal funding to make sure that our communities are safer. So again, thank you very much, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate the great work that you're doing. So let's keep it going, and hopefully other cities and states will follow your lead. So thank you all very much. Good job.